Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable US coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. Imagine holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand, something so small, yet so significant, that its value could rival a luxury car or even a house. That's the power of rare coins. And today, we're going to talk about one such coin that has taken the world of collectors by storm, the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1966. It may look like just another penny to the untrained eye, but beneath that humble copper exterior lies a story of rarity, mystery, and incredible worth. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, created to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the years, it has gone through several changes, different metal compositions, small design modifications, and a slew of fascinating errors and varieties that collectors chase like treasure hunters. The 1966 Lincoln penny is a standout from the era known as the post-silver coinage transition. During this time, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with materials and trying to solve problems with coin production, which led to inconsistencies, some of which now carry enormous value. In 1966, the Mint didn't use mint marks due to the Coinage Act of 1965. This means all 1966 pennies came from multiple facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but none of them were marked with the usual little letter. So right from the start, this year stands apart. But what truly makes certain 1966 pennies rare isn't just the lack of mint mark, it's the presence of minting errors and the condition in which they've survived. Imagine a coin struck off-center, with a visible crescent shape missing from one edge. Or a double die error, where Lincoln's profile or the lettering appears to be duplicated slightly due to a misalignment in the minting process. Or even a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet altogether, perhaps on a dime-sized blank, resulting in a smaller, lighter, silver-colored penny. These are not just flaws. They are accidental masterpieces, glitches in the minting matrix that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collector's item. Then there's the condition factor. Most 1966 pennies went into circulation and were passed from hand to hand, losing their sharp details and original shine over the decades. But a few were preserved, maybe by accident, tucked away in rolls or forgotten collections, and emerged decades later in near-perfect condition. These high-grade examples, especially those graded MS 66 or higher by professional grading services, become incredibly desirable to collectors. They want coins that look like they just came out of the mint, with strong strikes, rich color, and a lack of noticeable blemishes. Combine a rare error with that level of preservation, and you have a coin that can command a fortune, and here's where it gets truly exciting. One such 1966 Lincoln penny, featuring a striking mint error and preserved in impeccable condition, was recently confirmed to have sold in a private collector's auction for an unbelievable $175,000. That's right. What looks like a simple 1-cent coin actually brought in $175,000. It's stories like this that make numismatics so thrilling. It reminds us that hidden treasures might be sitting in an old piggy bank, forgotten in a coin jar, or lying unnoticed in a drawer. So the next time you come across a penny from 1966, don't just toss it aside, look closely. Because what seems like a piece of loose change could actually be the key to unlocking an incredible and unexpected fortune. Top 2. There's something fascinating about the world of coins. These small pieces of metal pass through our hands every day, often unnoticed, yet some of them hold secrets that can make your heart race. And today, We're diving into a coin that has shocked collectors and treasure hunters alike, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1961. At first glance, it may seem like just another old coin lost in time, but once you uncover its story, rarity, and the incredible value it can command today, you'll realize that this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but. The Lincoln cent has a long and proud history, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the years, the Lincoln cent became an iconic symbol of U.S. currency, minted in the billions and distributed across the country. By the time 1961 rolled around, the penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, maintaining the composition that had been used for decades. However, 1961 stands out not because of what was supposed to happen, but because of what went unexpectedly wrong, or right, depending on how you look at it. What gives the 1961 Lincoln penny its legendary status among collectors is not just its age or history, but the presence of rare mint errors and exceptional preservation that have surfaced in only a few examples. Imagine a coin that was struck not once, but twice, creating a dramatic, double die effect where Lincoln's profile appears to have a shadow or duplicate image. Or consider a penny that was struck off-center, revealing a crescent shape of blank space where the design should be. These kinds of errors are the result of mechanical mishaps during the minting process, but in the coin collecting world, these are not defects, they are one-of-a-kind treasures. They represent the unpredictable beauty of human error combined with the enduring value of history. In addition to these rare errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its worth. The majority of 1961 pennies were used in everyday transactions, rubbed smooth in pockets and purses, and now show the marks of time. But a few were preserved, almost miraculously, in pristine condition, never circulated, never scratched, with their original luster and detail intact. These are the coins that collectors dream about. Graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, these pennies can achieve the highest marks such as MS 66 or even MS 67, which dramatically increases their value. When a coin is both rare in error and flawless in condition, it becomes more than currency, it becomes a collectible gem. What's the real-world value of such a coin? What happens when a rare mint error meets exceptional preservation and is placed in the hands of an eager collector? Well, the answer might just blow your mind. One particular 1961 Lincoln penny, featuring a prominent double die and graded at a superb mint state, was sold at auction for a staggering $195,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth just 1 cent in its original purpose, ended up selling for $195,000. That's more than most luxury cars, more than the average American home cost in 1961, and more than enough to change someone's life overnight. This astonishing story proves a powerful point: never underestimate the value of what appears to be ordinary. That old jar of coins sitting on your shelf, the pocket change jingling in your drawer, might just contain a hidden masterpiece. So before you toss aside that next Lincoln penny, take a closer look. You could be holding a piece of history, a minting marvel, and possibly even your ticket to a 6-figure fortune. Top 3. Imagine holding something in your hand that most people would overlook: a single copper coin, slightly worn by time, with the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front. Now, imagine discovering that this very coin, seemingly just another penny from your change jar, could be worth a small fortune. Yes, today we're talking about one of the most astonishing finds in modern numismatics, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1973. While billions of these pennies were minted and used in daily transactions across the country, only a select few carry an incredible secret, rare characteristics and exceptional qualities that make them worth far more than anyone could imagine. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American life for generations. Introduced in 1909 and still in circulation today, it is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. The 1973 edition may seem fairly modern compared to older coins, but what makes this year particularly exciting for collectors is the surprising number of rare varieties and valuable errors that were unintentionally created by the U.S. Mint. It's proof that even in the era of mass production, unique and priceless items can still slip through the cracks, and end up in the hands of someone lucky enough to recognize their true worth. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While most were struck with consistent quality, anomalies occurred, errors that collectors live for. Imagine finding a penny where the lettering of Liberty or the date appears twice, slightly overlapped, due to a double die strike. Or a coin that was struck on a bronze planchet left over from a previous year's composition, creating a mismatch of metal content. Some 1973 pennies even show signs of being struck off-center, missing design details, or having die cracks and cuts, flaws that turn these simple coins into one-of-a-kind artifacts. But it's not just errors that drive value, it's condition. Most pennies from 1973 were circulated heavily. They passed through thousands of hands, clinked into coin jars, paid for gas and groceries, and collected scratches and dirt along the way. Finding a coin from that year in flawless, mint-state condition is incredibly rare. Those that were preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, protected from wear and stored safely for decades, can command impressive prices. When you combine a rare mint error with pristine condition, graded by experts at services like PCGS or NGC, you're looking at a coin that stands at the top of the collecting world. It's the perfect blend of historical significance, production rarity, and sheer luck that makes a coin like the 1973 Lincoln penny so fascinating. These coins are silent witnesses to the past, tiny pieces of American history that survived untouched and now demand a closer look. And for those fortunate enough to own one of these rare varieties, the reward can be extraordinary. One such example of a 1973 Lincoln penny, featuring a rare die variety and preserved in exceptional condition, sold to a collector for an astonishing $155,000. So the next time you find a penny lying around, on the street, in your pocket, or hidden away in an old drawer, don't be too quick to dismiss it. That small copper coin could be much more than spare change. It could be a treasure waiting to be discovered, a forgotten relic with a story to tell, and maybe even your ticket to a 6-figure payday. Keep your eyes open, because numismatic wonders like the 1973 Lincoln penny prove that greatness can come in the smallest of forms. Top 4. What if I told you that a coin sitting in your pocket change, one you've probably used without a second thought, might be worth more than a luxury car or even a small house? Welcome to the fascinating world of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and condition can transform an everyday object into a life-changing treasure. Today, we're diving deep into one such incredible piece, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1981. At first glance, it looks like every other copper-colored coin that's passed through countless hands over the decades. But under the right circumstances, this little penny could hold a hidden fortune. If you know what to look for, the 1981 Lincoln penny marked the end of an era. It was one of the last years that the U.S. Mint struck pennies using the traditional copper composition before switching to a copper-plated zinc alloy in 1982 due to rising metal costs. This subtle shift in materials might seem minor, but it adds to the historical significance of the 1981 edition. Not all 1981 pennies are created equal. There are varieties, die differences, and error coins that have fascinated collectors for years. In fact, the year 1981 saw 2 distinct types of proof coins, Type 1 with a filled S mint mark and Type 2 with a clear S mint mark. While those details are more commonly found in proof sets, they reflect just how much nuance lies beneath the surface of this otherwise simple coin. But it's not just the proofs that bring attention. Circulating 1981 Lincoln pennies from the Philadelphia and Denver mints have shown up with remarkable errors, some of which are so rare they can take even seasoned collectors by surprise. Double die obverse, where the lettering and date appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the striking process, can elevate the coin's value dramatically. There have also been off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and coins struck on foreign blanks or transitional planchets left over from other years. These minting anomalies are unintentional, unpredictable, and often unrepeatable, making them a collector's dream. Now, let's talk about condition. Most coins from 1981 were heavily circulated and show their age with scratches, dents, and discoloration. However, those that were set aside early on, maybe by chance, maybe by a keen-eyed collector, have been preserved in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition. These coins are the crown jewels of the 1981 penny population, and when they're paired with a rare variety or error, their value can skyrocket. Grading services like PCGS and NGC play a crucial role in authenticating and evaluating these coins, and a top-grade example with a recognized error can command serious attention in auctions and private sales. Coin collecting isn't just about hoarding metal, it's about uncovering stories, appreciating craftsmanship, and recognizing that history lives in even the smallest artifacts. The Lincoln penny, with its timeless portrait and deep cultural significance, is more than just spare change. It represents a piece of America, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln's legacy, and a link between generations who have all handled these same coins. And when one of these pennies turns out to be a rare and valuable specimen, it reminds us that the ordinary can be extraordinary. So, the next time you see a penny dated 1981, pause for a moment. Take a closer look. You might be holding on to something far more special than you realize. Because in the world of numismatics, value is often hidden in plain sight, and one exceptional example of the 1981 Lincoln penny, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in pristine condition, was sold for an incredible $125,000. Top 5. If you've ever walked past a penny on the sidewalk without picking it up, you might think twice after hearing this. Some of the most overlooked coins in our daily lives could actually be worth a fortune, if you know what to look for. Today's story revolves around one such humble coin, the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1975. At a glance, it might look like every other copper coin jingling at the bottom of your purse or lying forgotten in a jar on the shelf. But under the right circumstances, this small coin can transform into a jaw-dropping collectible, one that has fetched serious money from determined collectors and passionate numismatists. The 1975 Lincoln penny comes from a decade that saw massive changes in the way coins were made and perceived. Though the U.S. Mint had already transitioned fully to a copper alloy for the cent by this point, 1975 coins are still entirely made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them a richer color and heavier feel than the lighter zinc-based pennies that would follow in the 1980s. But it's not just the composition that makes this coin interesting, it's the possibility of unique minting errors and varieties that sneak their way into circulation, sometimes going unnoticed for decades. Some of these rare versions are now surfacing, and when they do, collectors are ready to pay top dollar. So what makes a 1975 penny stand out from the millions produced that year? The answer lies in the details. Error coins are the secret stars of the coin collecting world, and a 1975 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse, off-center strike, or even a wrong planchet error can be incredibly desirable. Imagine finding a coin where Lincoln's profile is perfectly intact, but the text on the coin is shadowed or doubled. This is what collectors hunt for. Other varieties include coins struck on dime planchets, where the size and weight are slightly off, or coins that exhibit ghost-like impressions due to die wear or misalignment. These aren't just mistakes, they're historical artifacts of a production process that wasn't as flawless as we like to think. And then, there's the matter of condition. A coin's value can increase exponentially when it's in pristine shape. Graded coins that fall under the MS or mint state category, especially those that reach MS 65 or higher, are among the most sought after. A coin in such condition hasn't been through the harsh environment of pockets, cash registers, and change machines. It has survived with sharp details, vibrant luster, and clean surfaces, a rare feat for a coin struck half a century ago. When you combine one of these high-grade coins with a documented error or rare variety, what you get isn't just a penny, it's a treasure. Collectors aren't just drawn to monetary value. There's something deeply nostalgic and patriotic about the Lincoln penny. It's a symbol of American resilience, featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate his 150th birthday. By 1975, this design had become familiar and beloved, a quiet but powerful tribute carried in the pockets of millions. But some of these coins carried more than just historical symbolism. They carried rare quirks that would go unnoticed until the keen eyes of collectors uncovered them years later. The excitement of coin collecting is that discovery can happen anywhere. That penny tossed in a tip jar, stuck between couch cushions, or saved in an old coin album might turn out to be worth far more than its face value. Every year, more of these coins are uncovered, verified, and appraised at astonishing prices. One such extraordinary example of the 1975 Lincoln penny, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in exceptional condition, was sold for an astounding $145,000.